get one more thing out. There we go. All right. All right, we're going to go ahead and call this regular commission meeting to order. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. At this time, we will open the meeting with an invocation followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. The invocation will be given by Vice Mayor Tom Reed.
Thank you, Mayor. Heavenly Father, we gather here today in service to our community, seeking wisdom, humility, and unity in all that we do. Guide our words and actions so they may reflect fairness, compassion, and integrity for the people we serve. Let us also pause to remember Jimmy Valenti, a true pillar of our city whose kindness, dedication, and unwavering commitment touched countless lives. May his example of friendship and service inspire us, and may his family and friends find comfort in the love and gratitude of this community. Bless this meeting, bless our city, and bless all who call it home. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Carly, if you can call the roll, please.
Geiger.
Here.
McAleese.
Here.
Thompson.
Here.
Reed.
Here.
Kenny.
Here. All right, we are going to lead right into reports, and we're going to start off with Commissioner Gail Neidinger and a finance report.
Okay, the finance report. At tonight's meeting, the Finance Department will be presenting the city's tentative budget for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2026, in the amount of $16,695,575 for all funds. The breakdown is as follows: $10 million for the general fund, $4 million capital improvement fund, $2 million for the sewer enterprise fund, and $380,000 for the reclaimed water enterprise fund. Citizens can look for our budget summary advertisement in the Tampa Bay Times, scheduled for September 10th, 2025, or can contact our finance department for a detailed budget. The proposed general fund budget reflects a proposed millage rate of 5.8709 mils compared to 5.175 mils for fiscal 2025. The city's 2024 audit report has been completed, and a presentation with the city auditor will be scheduled in the near future. At the 2024 fiscal year end, the audit reflects approximately 9.6 months worth of operating expenditures in general fund reserves. Finance and the auditors have completed the fiscal 2024 Pinellas County EMS true-up with the city, owing a net of $49,000 back to the county funding by the county, totaled $1.183 million, compared to actual audit EMS expenditures of $1.134 million, reimbursable by the county. The $49,000 difference, less the 1% overhead allowance of $11,337 under our agreement, nets to $37,788. The FY 2024 annual firefighter pension report has been completed and submitted to the state. It should be finalized and accepted this week, with the annual state distribution being dispersed later this month. Thank you.
Thank you, Gail. Next, we'll move on to Commissioner Mark McAleese and Community Improvement Department.
So we've sent out renewal forms for local business tax receipts and have been receiving payments. Local business tax receipts are due by September 30th. I just want to really emphasize this bullet point on this sheet, because when I'm out in the community, the number one thing that I hear is that the Community Improvement Department should be more active and should get on things faster. And I just really want to point out, because I've been reading this almost every month, and I think we're doing an outstanding job. I know it doesn't feel like it. There's a lot of pain out there, but I feel like we're doing an outstanding job. So in August 2025, we received 125 permit applications. Compared to the same time last year, we received 54. We have issued 110 permits in August of 2025 compared to the previous year of 51 permits, so more than double. And this is the big part, because we've only got 2 people that can go out and do an inspections, if I'm correct, right, Terry? 2 people. In August 2025, we've done 411 inspections compared to 172 the previous year, okay? So it sure feels to me like we're doing the best we can. And again, I understand there's a lot of pain out there. The Community Improvement Department staff participated in an FROC training at the end of August, so we are prepared to use this program. FROC is an initiative sponsored by the Florida Division of Emergency Management to standardize, streamline, and simplify public assistance process. We also participated in training in our new plan review software. Bluebeam allows plan reviewers to navigate easily through the plan set, and reviewers will be able to review, mark up, and comment on files. We sent out requests for repair status update letters. Hopefully I read that correctly. So we've sent out a bunch of letters in August to all owners who have not submitted permit applications to date. This is a courtesy notice requesting that all owners contact Community Improvement Department to let us know the status of their repair. Just as a reminder, all work to repair the structure to pre-damage condition requires a permit. A substantial damage package must be filled out completely for all work needed to bring the structure back to pre-damage condition and submitted with permit application. That's the end of my report, Mayor.
All right, thank you very much, Mark. And now we'll move on to Commissioner Linda Thompson and Public Safety.
I just want to thank you all for coming. It's nice to talk to a crowd versus blank chairs.
Great.
This year's Fire Prevention Week will be observed from October 5th through the 11th of 2025 with the national theme, Charge into Fire Safety, Lithium-Ion Batteries in Your Home. The campaign focuses on educating our community about the safe use of the lithium batteries, which power many of the devices we use every day, from phones, laptops, to e-bikes and scooters. The message emphasizes 3 key actions: buy devices and batteries from reputable sources, charge them using proper equipment, and recycle them responsibly when they are no longer needed. Throughout the week, the South Pasadena Fire Department will share safety tips and educational resources to help prevent battery-related fires and keep our communities safe. Fire Prevention Week is an excellent opportunity to remind residents that awareness and preparation are the first steps toward protecting lives and property. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. And now we'll head on to Vice Mayor Tom Reed and Public Works.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody, and I echo Commissioner Thompson. It's good to see some faces out there for once. Thank you for coming. Public Works continues to work with Pinellas County on getting a date for the Oleander Way ditch cleaning. With the full moon here, the tides are higher than normal, and if we get heavy rains, there's a good chance we might get some localized flooding. So please drive safe and avoid driving in the flooded areas. Friday afternoon, we lost power to Lift Station 4 on Pasadena Isle due to a squirrel interaction with the transformer. No word on the squirrel. Public Works brought out our generator to run the station until power was restored from Duke Energy. All is up and running. Also, the reclaimed water cross-connection inspections are complete for all residential homes. This time of year is peak hurricane season, as we all know entirely too well. Please make sure you have a plan in place if the time comes for evacuations. We have Sandbag Station behind the Annex Building at 6940 Hibiscus Avenue South. This is a self-serve, and we put it out proactively ahead of any storms coming our way. Public Works started putting up, yes, Christmas lights at the Bayview Park. This usually takes around 2 months to install. Pay attention to our Facebook page and city website for information for a day and the timing of the tree lighting. And that concludes my report, and have a good evening.
All right, thank you. All right, and I have the Administration Department report, and I'd like to begin my comments this evening by expressing my sincere condolences to the Valenti family. Following the unexpected passing of Jimmy Valenti last week, Jimmy's been a pillar to community, a generous supporter of our city, ever since his family opened Pasadena Liquors in 1980. He was more than just a local business owner to many of us. He was a friend. I mean, you could go talk to Jimmy anytime. He was there, he had an ear, he could hear, listen to what you had to say. I know I speak for the entire commission and staff when I say our hearts are with the Valenti family during this difficult time. And I will truly miss Jimmy. He was quite a character and a fun guy to be around at all times. So, and he did so much for the city. It was unbelievable, the things he would contribute. So, again, just condolences to all the family. And tonight, we will have a public hearing for resolution number 2025-10, adopting a tentative millage rate, and a first public hearing for ordinance number 2025-03, adopting the city's budget for fiscal year 2026. The second public hearing for ordinance 2025-03 will be held at a special commission meeting on Monday, September 15th at 7:00 p.m. The final millage rate will also be set by resolution in that meeting. A hiring process has begun for the city's finance director position in light of Finance Director Graham's retirement plan for January 2026. The position is currently posted with a closing date of October 10th. For more information, visit the employment section of the city's website at mysouthpasadena.com. And as the Vice Mayor talked about, don't forget to mark your calendars for this year's Holiday Lighted Bull Parade, scheduled for Friday, December 12th. And more information and voter registration will be posted to the city's website and Facebook pages. And the South Pasadena Community Band is working on its concert schedule for their upcoming season, with dates to be announced soon. Concerts will be held within the city, so be sure to watch for date announcements. For more information about the band, visit our website, southpasadenaband.com. And that is all I have for the evening. And next, we're going to go to the People's Forum. And the People's Forum, this is the portion of the meeting when the public can speak on anything that is not on the agenda. If there's anyone in attendance that wishes to speak for the People's Forum, please step up now. Okay.
This is the part where you have to ask questions.
Not about anything on the agenda, no.
Right.
Yeah.
But questions in general, right?
Okay.
If you could start your comments with your name and address, please.
Michael Freeman, 6970 Grande Vista Way South, South Pasadena. Okay. All right, I just have a couple of questions, general questions. So when, this is not part of the ordinances or anything to do with this meeting tonight, but when the pumping stations on our island shut down and alarms start blaring really loudly, are those alarms sent remotely to key people so that they understand that the pumps quit when they do?
Yes, our Public Works Department, they get notified immediately when they go down.
They get an email or their phone or something like that?
The phone call.
So they're aware of it immediately then?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the second thing is, on the island, the heavy rains are occurring, aside from any tidal movements, the roads seem to flood often. Now, we've talked with the people that do the cleaning, and they say they're scoping all the exits of the water to the bay, and they've got pictures of them, but still the flooding occurs. So what's going on? Why is it flooding still if those passageways are open?
Well, sometimes there's just more rain than those passageways can handle. A lot of times it is high tide or it's moon phase. But those kind of things happen. But for a more detailed reason why, you should really speak to the Public Works Department Director, so he can describe why this occurs and how it happens.
Still the Public Works Director?
Yeah.
That's my questions.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak on anything that is not on the agenda this evening? Okay, then we will close the People's Forum portion of this meeting, and we're going to move on to the agenda comment section. And we'll now accept agenda comments. So this is basically the portion of the meeting that the public can speak on anything that is on the agenda that is not a public hearing. So is there anyone in attendance that wishes to speak on an agenda comment that is not a public hearing? Okay. Seeing no one, we will close the agenda comment portion of the meeting. And we're going to move on to the public hearing. This is item number 1, resolution number 2025-10. And I'm going to ask our city attorney to read the resolution by title.
Yes, Mayor, this is resolution number 2025-10, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of South Pasadena, Florida, adopting a tentative millage rate for ad valorem taxes for the City of South Pasadena for fiscal year 2025 through 2026, providing for an effective date.
Thank you. The purpose of the public hearing is to receive input on the budget process from the public and the city commissioners. This meeting will accomplish the following in accordance with state statutes. First, announce the proposed millage rate adopted by the City Commission on July 1st, 2025. Second, receive comment and questions from the public on both the budget and the millage rate and answer the public's questions. Third, adopt a tentative millage rate. And fourth, adopt a tentative budget. So at this time, I'm going to ask Finance Director Jim Graham to speak on the millage. Good evening, Jim.
Good evening. Get my glasses on here. I'm going to just go through and kind of define rollback for the citizens and announce the things that we talked about here. The proposed or tentatively adopted budget is based on a tentative millage rate of 5.8709 mils. This millage is 10.08% increase over the rollback rate. The current rollback rate, as calculated, is 5.3335. The rollback rate is the true millage rate necessary to collect the same total revenue as collected in the previous year on the same properties. The concept is that taxable values, if taxable values increase and you use the same property tax base as used in the previous year, that the same millage rate is not needed to generate the same total revenue. Using the exact same millage rate as the last year against the same properties at inflated current values would generate an increase in total revenues, even though the millage rate is the same as the previous year. Likewise, in periods of decreasing taxable values, using the same millage rate that you used for the previous year would result in a decrease in property tax revenues. Last year's millage rate was 5.175 mils. And as everybody kind of knows, we were in an unusual situation where we didn't have increases in property values, we had decreases in property values. The current taxable values decreased $42.7 million from $972.5 million to $929.8 million. Using last year's exact same millage rate of 5.175 would generate $202,836 less in revenue due to the 4.4% decrease in property values for the city. Because of the negative impacts of Hurricane Helene and Milton, the rollback this year has actually kind of turned into a roll-up rate. Even with the rolled-up rate to 5.3335, actual taxes generated would be less than the previous year collections by $73,457. That's all I have on rollback.
All right. Thank you, Jim. So at this time, I'm going to open the public hearing on resolution number 2025-10. And anyone who wishes to speak on the public hearing, please step up.
Good evening. I'm Marge Laurent, Corey Way South. I'm speaking today to ask the Commission to adopt a millage rate of 5.175, maintaining the millage rate assessed in 2024 for our properties in 2025. The proposed millage rate of 5.8709 is a 13% increase over last year's millage rate. In 2024, when nearly every South Pasadena owner sustained damage, some catastrophic, from which many are still recovering and rebuilding. This evening, you're also proposing a 10% increase in sewer and nearly a 10% increase in sewer and nearly a 10% increase in water rates, which is a pass-through from St. Petersburg. These three increases represent an increase of 33% in our property taxes. The reasoning for this increase, stated in Resolution 2025-10, is that the city would like to gradually increase the general fund reserves. I believe every property owner here would like to increase their personal reserves rather than paying to live in other housing while their homes were or are being demolished, repaired, and sold. Asking to build city fund reserves at this time of a crisis is tone deaf on the part of the Commission and city staff. During a crisis is when reserves are needed. Building reserves happens when there are adequate resources to build on. This is not that time. Another stated reason for increasing the millage rate, 13%, is that $450,000 must be taken from the general fund to cover the fire station bond debt service. However, in 2023, Finance Director Graham recommended that the city take out a $9.9 million loan to cover the costs of the building of the new fire station. In the record, Mr. Graham said, quote, "The loan amount allows the city to keep approximately 2 years of loan payments in reserves. The loan amount was invested to earn interest, which the city kept in reserve. The Commission planned for the general fund reserves to cover our debt service in 2024 and 2025. Now you're asking property owners to foot the bill we were told was covered with an increase in our millage rate. Several businesses have never reopened after the hurricanes. They've been shut down or sold. What business will now come in to the closed Wendy's, Dunkin' Donuts, the never open Take 5, the many empty storefronts on Pasadena Shopping Center, if the millage rate on those properties is raised another 13%? How will we attract new businesses to the empty lots along Pasadena Avenue if with a millage rate higher than 3 of our closest neighbors? St. Pete Beach's millage rate is going to be 2.7796 lower than this proposed millage rate, and they are maintaining their millage rate from 2024. Treasure Islands is going to be 2.058 lower than ours. Gulfport is going to be 1.8451 lower. St. Petersburg's millage rate is higher than ours, but they're proposing to reduce their millage rate again for the 3rd year. The city's general fund reserves in September 2024 were 9.6 months of operating expenditures and are projected to be between 8.4 and 9.6 months at the end of the fiscal year. I do not see the need to tax already distressed property owners 13% more, along with a nearly 20% increase for pass-through reclaimed water and sewer costs. I'm asking you to give the city of South Pasadena property owners a break. and help us recover from the devastation that the 2024 hurricanes caused us. Please keep the millage rate at 5.175. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, is there anyone else who would like to speak?
Sure. I'm Ann Romano, and I live at 1464 Corey Way South. Excuse me. So my little spiel is a little less technical and mathematical than Marge's, but I did want to come to this meeting to support her request to minimize the financial burden on us for this next year at least. And to justify this request, I wanted to walk you through this past year from our perspective, and I know you all are aware of this, but I wanted you to keep this fresh in your minds when you're working on this millage issue. I don't know if you have suffered personally property damage or not, but of course you know better than anyone the expanse of it. Friends, neighbors, family. And so when I talk to my neighbors, we talk about this feeling of anxiety and dread that we've been experiencing, and we actually label it PTSD. It's actually this feeling that you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. One of my neighbors, of course, is on anti-anxiety drugs for the first time, and a few months ago he texted me and said that he felt like, quote, his brain was broken. Then there was the physical strain that we all had to go through. We came back to all this yucky water in our houses. We spent a lot of time cleaning. I tried to salvage photos, important documents, rinsing things, drying things in my backyard, packing, throwing out for days, dragging things to the curb. That was a physical strain. Putting items up on shelves when Milton came through. And there was the added stress of the difficulty in working through an unfamiliar process with FEMA, flood insurance, homeowners insurance, and city regulations. So also anxiety over finding reliable companies and contractors to get through the mitigation and rebuild measures. So one neighbor got ripped off, I know, and I'm sure there are more cases, and so finally we get to the financial strain. So even if you had insurance, and I was lucky enough to have insurance, I've lost thousands of dollars, if not tens of thousands, from replacing big and small items, bathroom items, cleaning products, buying plastic bins, buying bubble wrap, boxes. Some of my neighbors rented storage units or pods. Then there's the landscape damage. We can't recoup that money lost in that area. $1,200 to have my pool cleaned. I'm lucky enough to have a pool. But anyway, this financial strain contributes to this anxiety that we all feel, that we've been experiencing for almost a full year. It's only, 2.5 weeks? So 1 full year of all of this. So I just feel it's not the moment to impose higher rates on anything that can be avoided. So if you can minimize this financial layer of our anxiety, it would be greatly appreciated. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Is there anyone else with further comment? Seeing no further comment, I close the public hearing for item 1, and I'll entertain a motion to pass resolution number 2025-10, adopting a tentative millage rate of 5.8709 for fiscal year 2025-06. Okay. Is there any other motion that someone wants to make then? One thing you guys all got to remember, I know that we've been through this and talked this over, that this millage rate creates a break-even budget for this year, okay? Remember, we're not like other cities that they describe, St. Pete Beach, Gulfport. We don't have hotels. We don't have parking revenue. we have nothing but the property tax. That's how the city is supported. We get nothing from anything else. So, I mean, they've got hotels in St. Pete Beach. They're collecting all this money from that, the taxes. We got no income from that. We've got nothing. The only thing we get is from our permits that we put out, and we waive those fees the entire year for everybody. People to rebuild their homes, people to get permits to tear it down and rebuild it. We waived those fees. The city lost that income. That's close to $1 million right there. So we helped the city. And I don't think anybody should ever say we didn't even try to help, because we did. We bent over backwards to help the city. And right now, we got this building that's over the FEMA percentage. It has to be torn down and rebuilt. This is another thing that happened. We got the old fire station, over $500,000 worth of damage to it that we've got to take care of. I mean, it's not just the reserves. I mean, if another storm hits us, we need those because we have not been reimbursed by FEMA and probably won't be reimbursed for another couple of years from all the money we had to put out already because of the destruction to our city. And we know the destruction. We were there. I'm a condominium manager. I had 84 units at mine that were destroyed that I managed. I had another 126 where I live. 485 cars were totaled just in our parking lot, not counting the rest of the city. And then you got the mobile home park with 204, I think, mobile homes. The people that lost their homes there, and the people that have had to tear down their houses in this city to rebuild, that property taxes aren't coming from because there's no structure to tax. So that's why there was a decrease in the city. And then, of course, there's the Recapture Act that the state has out, so that if you got a homestead exemption, you had a 2.9% increase on your assessed value. If you're not homesteaded, you got a 10% increase. So that brought some of it up. I mean, if the commission wishes to propose a different millage rate, remember, we do already have it posted in the newspaper to come out in 2 days, which we can't change at this point. It's going to be at this rate. You still have next week. So what I recommend and suggest is that tonight you go ahead and pass this. It doesn't pass the millage rate. Go back to the finance director. Go back to the other departments. Talk to everybody. Talk to our city administrator. Talk to our attorney. And see what the best option is, what we can do. And if we think we can lower it, next week is our time to do it. This week is not the time to do it. This week is the time to take the next week to make sure we're doing the right thing if you're unsure at this point. So right now I'm asking for a motion from you so we can continue.
Motion to pass the 5.8709.
Need a second, please.
I will second that.
Thank you.
Well, I'll second that.
And is there any comment by any other person
We'll
out
be
there?
able to discuss that next week, is that correct?
Next week's the last time that we can lower it, but
Okay.
find out. Talk to, like I said, talk to Jim in the finance department, talk
Okay.
to the city administrator. Make sure you know what you're doing before you just jump and say, we're gonna lower it and lose money this year. And lose more because we haven't been paid back by FEMA.
No, I,
So, we have to run this city. Yes, excuse me. We're having our discussion up here now. This is not your discussion. You had your time. If you get out of hand, I'll have to have you removed.
But you hadn't said what you had said.
Sir, again, you have not been asked to speak. Okay?
Fine.
All right.
Arthur, just a comment on what you said about the FEMA money. We are still waiting for money from Hurricane Ian that we have not received. The pickup of, well, I mean, I'm just telling you, the pickup of the trash was well over $1 million, and that has not come back to us and probably will not this fiscal year anyway. So, I mean, all of these things have to be considered in how we plan the budget and what we do going forward. I mean, I'm with you guys. I lost my house too. I get it. But, you know, we have to look at what is the best response for the city and for the future of the city.
Just one last comment. when this storm hit, everybody was coming to us right a month or two after that, telling us they wanted more information. They wanted to hear more. They wanted to know why we didn't have enough people to handle it. Well, that's another part of this new budget. We have hired people. We are filling those positions that you asked for. You wanted more people, we're bringing in more people. To make sure that we can get this to happen again, we've got the people who hit the ground running and help get things taken care of faster. So, I mean, it's all part of trying to make things better by listening to what you had said. So, but, anybody else, anything before we move forward with the vote? All right, Carly, call the vote.
Danier,
Yes.
McAleese,
Yes.
Thompson,
No.
Reed,
No.
Penny.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? Mayor, we may need to pause for a minute. We have a legal process question based on the result of that
Okay,
vote, which I could explain really quick,
sure.
if that's helpful. The proposed millage rate is a super majority vote in order to pass, which means it requires 4 out of 5. Off the top of my head, I don't know if that means it is a super majority vote at its final adoption, which is next week, not tonight, or if it is a super majority all along the way. Because we did not get a super majority here, I'm not sure if we can proceed at the moment. So
Okay.
Okay.
unless you want to have further discussion and reevaluate, I need to determine what we're doing with that, unless someone wants to change. So I don't know if we can move forward with 3 yeses and 2 nos at this point.
I just need a few minutes to confirm.
We need to,
Okay,
Well, I thought we were going to look into this in more detail before final. We have a workshop in
there is not a
between.
workshop prior.
There's not a
No.
workshop.
this is for you guys
After we
independently
talk
to,
staff, the public can meet with staff as well, and then we could come in and present with you all next week at the night meeting. That is the final adoption. Today is not, but the final adoption of this, if it is this millage rate, it requires supermajority. This right now has a simple
so
majority,
we
which
need
is
4 out of 5, right?
So with 3 out of 5, I don't know off the top of my head if we can proceed, because this is the tentative millage, it's not the final. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I don't know, so we need a moment. Do we want to actually pause?
Can we put a pin in it and come back to it?
Yeah, well, but the next item is the budget based on this.
Then let's pause. So give me a second, yeah.
Okay, if you all want, I can go ahead and actually stop everything, we could separate or erase it on this thing.
Call, I can call it,
Five,
yeah.
five,
All right, so we're gonna call a 5-minute recess, while we get some answers. So if everybody needs to take a break, now's the time to do it. Okay, we're back. Call the meeting back to order.
Okay, thank you for your patience. We were trying to figure out whether today we needed a simple majority vote to pass this tentative millage rate or a supermajority. A supermajority will be required next week to pass this millage rate. Today, it's a simple majority, so that's 3 to 2, so that's a simple majority, so it passes today. So thank you all for your patience.
Now, if we wanted to revote and go with a lower rate, I just been running over some numbers while I'm sitting here. I know we have this coming out, can't stop it. So are there any legal consequences for posting a millage rate not happen in 2 days? If we were to lower it tonight,
We would have to post a correction.
are we better off doing it next week to lower it?
Move next week's, because the ad on the ad instead is not only advertising the proposed millage and proposed budget, it's advertising that meeting as well. So it is saying at this meeting, this is the information that is going to be proposed and voted on. So if you change that today, what runs Wednesday is no longer accurate for next week. So we would have to move next week's and re-advertise.
It's accurate right now.
It is accurate to what is there right now.
And if our numbers change, you can lower it next week.
Right, yeah.
Regardless of what you advertise Wednesday, as long as what you advertise Wednesday is what's happening, you can change it next week. That's the complicated part with the advertising requirements and returns process.
Okay. So at this point, that motion is passed.
Correct.
We have, next week is the last chance to lower it.
Correct. And if it stays the same, it will need a supermajority to pass.
Right.
Which is
Four.
Okay. Just comment to the commission. As you know, the military was 5.1 for this year. 5.3 is rollback. We all understand rollback means that's the amount the military would need to bring in the exact amount of money we brought in last year. Because of the decrease in property values. So going back to 5.1, I mean, is a very fallback position. 5.3 brings in the same amount of money, but not enough to cover the budget. So what I would like for you guys to think about is the 5.574 number that we were provided with during one of the meetings, which is 50% lower in increase than we were getting. So as an example, a home that was assessed at $300,000, right now they're looking at about a $14.50 per month increase in taxes. With the 5.5, it would be $8.31 a month. So at least we're covering some of it. We will have to dip into the reserves to cover the rest, and hope we don't get any more storms and maybe somebody from FEMA will come quicker than it ever has to keep things going. But at least that will be something we do. But I want you to do what I said. Talk to the finance director. I'm going to show you what that number means. What is that number going to bring in? What is the income? What is the loss we're going to take? How much are we going to have to come up with? We don't have another meeting for us to sit down and discuss this. Okay, the next meeting is we're going to vote on this. So I need you independently to go speak to them separately. Remember, you can't be together. Sunshine rules. So let's go see them themselves and make our decisions at that meeting. We'll take a motion in a second. We'll have discussion. If it doesn't pass, vote again. That's just the way to go. Right now, just want to make sure you guys. We did this. We did the whole month of June. We had all those meetings every day. Almost coming and talking about the budget. Went over line by line, every item, and unanimously we came up with a decision for the 5.8. And I really wish that everybody would have been to those. It's when you're going over the budget line by line, you hope there's somebody sitting there, and there's no one sitting there, so you're hoping they're watching on TV at home. But so this just gives us another chance. But consider that, but also think about the budget, just as like I said, because the proposed millage rate today is a break-even budget. You're gonna lose 50% of what that is to break even on the budget. So we're just gonna have to think about it. But I think that's an option for us. All right? So at this point, we're gonna move on with the remainder of the meeting. Okay. We're going to go to item number 2. And this is ordinance number 2025-03. And I'm going to ask our city attorney to read the ordinance by title.
Yes, Mayor, this is ordinance number 2025-03, an ordinance of the City of South Pasadena, Florida, adopting fiscal year 2025 through 2026 budget, providing an effective date, second reading.
Okay. This time I open the public hearing for ordinance number 2025-03. Is there any comment from the public on this item?
Got a hand up.
We can get you one afterwards. If you just start with your name and address.
6970 Grande Vista Way South. Just question, so if you're adopting this budget, that's what this ordinance is, right? That you're taking a vote on. You just got done talking about the budget, that if you don't get the millage increase, how will that affect the budget?
We're just going to have to take money out of our reserves to cover the difference.
I mean, can you pass the budget as it is, and then you would just take the money out of the reserves? Well, you've got a healthy reserve, so I think that's a logical solution. Okay, that's all I need to know. Thank you very much.
Anyone else who wishes to comment? Okay. Seeing none, we will close the public comment. And I entertain a motion to pass ordinance number 2025-03 on second reading.
I'll pass.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All right, Carly, call the vote.
McAleese,
Yes.
Thompson,
No.
Reed,
Yes.
Leininger,
Yes.
Penny.
Yes. Okay. As we stated, the final adoption of the millage rate will be made by resolution, and the third and final reading of the budget ordinance will be heard at the second public hearing to be held on Monday, September 15th at 7:00 p.m. The millage rate set tonight cannot be increased at the final public hearing. It can only be accepted or decreased. So now we're going to move on to item number 3. And this is ordinance number 2025-04, and I'll ask our city attorney to read it.
Ordinance number 2025-04, an ordinance of the City of South Pasadena, Florida, amending Appendix Chapter A198, Fees of the Code of Ordinances relating to rates and charges for reclaimed water, to increase the minimum monthly reclaimed water service charge for single-family residential customers to $11.88, and to increase commercial and municipal user service charges to $339.31 per pervious acre, providing an effective date, second and final reading.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, I open the public hearing on ordinance number 2025-04. Anyone wish to speak on this ordinance? Okay, seeing none, I will close the public hearing and entertain a motion to pass and adopt ordinance number 2025-04 on second and final reading.
I make a motion to pass.
Second.
Any comment? One comment I'm just going to throw in. The increase is $1.01 per month per household on this. Goes from $10.87 to $11.88. Let you know what the increase is going to cost. So,
And a pass through
right.
from the City of St. Pete.
Yeah, like I said, we're just keeping up with what St. Pete's charging us. But it's $1 more. So. All right, next we'll go to, we're going to call the vote. Sorry.
Thompson,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Leininger,
Yes.
McAleese,
Yes.
Penny.
Yes. All right, item number 4, ordinance number 2025-05. And I'll ask our city attorney to read the ordinance.
Ordinance number 2025-05, An ordinance of the City of South Pasadena, Florida, amending Appendix Chapter A 198, Fees of the Code of Ordinances relating to rates and charges for sewage use, to increase the base minimum monthly sewer rates and sewer flow charge rate by 9.5%, providing an effective date, second and final reading.
Thank you. So at this time, I will open the public hearing on ordinance number 2025-5. Anyone who wishes to speak on this ordinance?
Got a hand up?
Probably not. I do need you to start your comments with your name and address again. I just have to keep record.
Michael Freeman, 6970 Ground of East Way South. I have a question on this. Is that 9.88% something that's pushed to us by St. Petersburg?
Yes.
We're not developing it here, they're pushing it at us, right?
Right.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
Okay, any further comment? Okay, seeing no further comment, I close the public hearing, and I'll entertain a motion to pass and adopt ordinance number 2025-05 on second and final reading.
So moved.
Any discussion? Okay, quick, just to let you guys know what 9.5% means. On a residential usage on a home that uses around 4,300 gallons, you're looking at about $4.66 month increase for that amount of money. And that brings it to, the current rate right now is $49.02. It brings you to 53. And I do have some notes I jotted down. Treasure Island, for the same amount, charges $87 a month. St. Pete Beach, $63. That's $10 more than we are. Gulfport, $66, and Pinellas County is at $56. But that's a 4.66 for people that use around 4,300 gallons in their home per month. Carly, can you call the vote?
Reed,
Yes.
Manninger,
Yes.
Mackleys,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Penny.
Yes. Okay, we have no unfinished business. We'll move on to the consent agenda, which is item number 5. And this is approval of the commission meeting minutes for the month of August 2025 on file in the city clerk's office. I'll entertain a motion and a second to pass the consent agenda.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any discussion at all? None? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes. All right, new business. Item number 6. This is a motion for the ALS amendment. I'll ask our city attorney to read the motion.
This is a motion to approve Emergency Medical Services ALS First Responder Agreement, Amendment Number 1, 2025.
All right, thank you.
Move approval.
Okay.
Second.
All right, any discussion on this item? All right, seeing none, Carly, can you call the vote?
Manninger,
Yes.
Mackleys,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Penny.
Yes. Item number 7, motion. This is the labor agreement with Union 747 from the firefighters. I'll ask our city attorney to read that motion.
This is a motion to approve labor agreement between the City of South Pasadena and St. Petersburg Association of Firefighters Local 747 for the period of October 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2028.
Thank you. Do I have a motion and a second?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All right, any discussion on this item?
Just so you all know, it did pass the union members.
Oh, thank you.
That's good.
It's probably an important question to ask.
Yes, they accepted it. Okay, go ahead and call the vote, please.
Mackleys,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Manninger,
Yes.
Penny.
Yes. And looks like our final item is item number 8. This is a motion for legal services with Gray Robinson. And I'll ask our city attorney to read this motion.
This is a motion to approve extension of contract for legal services with Gray Robinson, PA, for services as city attorney for the period of October 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2026.
Thank you. And do I have a motion and a second?
I make a motion.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion on this item?
Can I clarify who was the second?
Tom.
Okay, thank you.
All right, just want to thank Gray Robinson for everything they've done for us over the years. You guys have been around for a while. Really appreciate all your help. Thank you. Probably, can you call the vote, please?
Thompson?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
Snyder?
Yes.
McAleese?
Yes.
Henny?
Yes.
I would just like to say thank you, and I look forward to the next year.
All right. Okay. Well, seeing no further business to conduct, I will adjourn this meeting and ask everyone to have a pleasant evening.
Say live and let die.